All right, let's dive into an incredible ancient story. We've got a pilgrim, a prince, and a goddess. But really, this whole tale boils down to one of the deepest questions you could ever ask. And I mean, really, really think about that for a second. We're not just talking about helping someone out. We're talking about being willing to sacrifice absolutely everything. That question? It's the very heart of the story we're about to explore. A story about how one single selfless act can echo through time.
So our story kicks off with a young seeker of truth, a guy named Sudhana. Now, he's not out looking for gold or glory. Nope. He's on a much deeper quest, traveling the world, trying to find teachers who can show him the path to real enlightenment.
And after who knows how many trials and dead ends, Sudhana finds himself in front of this extraordinary being. He's not standing before some king or a famous philosopher. He's meeting a goddess of the night, someone whose very name, great vows and power, just screams with this intense determination and, a massive compassion for all life. Okay, and this is where things get seriously mind-bending. Sudhana doesn't just see a person. He sees a being literally made of pure light, a form that contains everything else, the sun, the moon, all the stars. He's witnessing something that can be anything, for anyone, anywhere in the universe, all at once, perfectly suited to whatever they need. It's a vision of existence without any boundaries at all. So Sridhana is just standing there, completely floored, but he doesn't ask for power or for some secret knowledge. He asks something much more fundamental. He wants to understand. He asks, what is this state of being? What is this liberation even called? And maybe even more importantly, he asks, how long did this take you? Where did a journey this incredible even begin? The goddess's answer, it's not a simple one. She doesn't just give him a lecture or some kind of formula. Instead, she reaches way, way back, across countless lifetimes, to tell him a story. She sets the scene in a time that's almost impossible for us to imagine, an eon called the Good Light, in a world called the Treasure Light. And in this world, there was a king, Victorious Light, who had a son, a prince named Shanfu, which means the well-tamed. And it's this prince, Shanfu, who is the absolute core of her whole lesson. His story is all about one single, unbelievably radical choice he's about to make. So here's how it all goes down. First, Prince Shanfu hears these cries of pain coming from his father's prison. He's so moved by it, he goes straight to the king and begs him to set them free. But the king says no. His ministers say they're dangerous criminals. And that's the pivot point. The prince makes this unbelievable offer. He says, if someone has to be punished, punish me. I'll take their place. I'll take any pain, even death. Just let them go. Think about that. And this act of pure, selfless compassion is so powerful, it literally causes a Buddha, a fully enlightened being, to appear right there in front of everyone. The story ends, and boom, we're back in the present with Sudhana and the goddess. Now she's about to reveal the real punchline of the tale she just told. This is the moment. This is where it all clicks into place. The goddess looks at Sudhana and tells him that the prince from that ancient story, well, that was her. Her whole journey. The very liberation he was asking about, it didn't start with some grand meditation or studying texts. It started with that one single moment of ultimate selfless compassion for a total stranger. And this is where you see just how powerful that one act was. It created these ripples through eternity. Prince Shanfu is now the goddess teaching Sudhana, and the prisoners he saved, they went on to become 1,000 future Buddhas. The ministers who argued against him, reborn as rivals to the historical Buddha. Even his own father, the king, became a famous debater. Every single person's destiny was totally reshaped by that one compassionate choice. So what the goddess is really teaching Sudhana here is a totally different way of seeing time itself. For most of us, time is a straight line. You're born, you live, you die. But for a Bodhisattva, a being who's dedicated their entire existence to helping others, time is like this huge open ocean. They don't think in terms of one life. Their actions are driven by a compassion so big that it echoes across eons, planting seeds that might not sprout for thousands of years. The story gives us this absolutely beautiful metaphor to get our heads around it. A bodhisattva is like a ferryman on the great river of life and death. They don't just stay on the safe shore of their own existence, and they're not just trying to get themselves to the other side. Their whole purpose is to stay in the river, constantly going back and forth, endlessly helping other people cross from suffering to freedom. And with that powerful image, the goddess's incredible lesson is basically complete. But for our pilgrim, Sudhana, well, his journey is far from over. She tells him, look, my wisdom, this particular path, it's just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. The journey to real understanding is a pilgrimage. It's like a chain of learning where every teacher gets you ready for the next one. And so she gives him his next destination and points him toward his next guide. Sudhana's quest is such a powerful reminder that learning isn't really about finding some final perfect answer, is it? It's about staying open to the next lesson, the next guide, the next point of view. The goddess's entire vast existence began with a single radical act of compassion. And it all kind of leads us to this final thought. In your own journey for understanding, who or what is waiting to teach you next?